Okay, I ran into a problem with this chain up here. For one thing, the chain is very difficult to stretch it between these 2 points, and this one over here, that has bended way over, and as you can see, it goes way up there, and it gets smaller and smaller, of course, and that's a fairly small tree. It's about, I would say, where the chain is, it's about maybe 3 to 5 inches in diameter. Surely it's not very much, and this one over here isn't much better, where the chain is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these boards down here, and I've got a couple screws about head height right here, and these boards are going to have notches in them so that they can rest on those screws. I may have to put a few more screws in, but anyway, we're going to notch these. I've got some weight now on it, so it won't move. All right, now this was quite a struggle to get this in there, to get those boards in there. I've got several screws under each end, this end and over there, and you cannot make the ends too long if you're going to do something like that. Now what this is this is going to keep these two trees from bending in. They're too small, and I can't use any other trees to lift everything up because the other ones over there, there's not two together that are close together. So hopefully this will help, and we'll go from there. All right, now this shows the door that I made with various pieces of wood, and I will get a close-up of that. And what I did was I took the boards and overlapped them about an inch and a half, and then I put a lock on it right there, and the lock works really well. I had to build it out a little bit so that the lock would work with the situation that I had before, and then I put the hinges on, and they work really well. So that's a nice door. It's easy to make, and I did not have to do a lot of modifications to the door opening. So I just took the old existing opening and made this one. Made this door for it. All right, now I have several ideas up here. This is the clamp that I made, and this is going to clamp the 3-inch piece of steel between here And that 3-inch tube, square tube, is going to be like this, as I had said before. Also, there's a thing up here and this is the hinge that I have. Also, down in here somewhere, and it may go over here like this, I'm not sure, but down in here somewhere there is a hydraulic jack that goes in here. And it has a piston or a shaft. Has a shaft that comes up here. And then there's a steel, another steel square tube. There's something to hold this jack in there. And then out here is a chain. And with a hook on it. Now what I want to do is, for sure, I want to take this and I'm going to show you the wood that's going to go over top of this. There's going to be a beam up here. And then there's going to be a couple of, I'll call them couplers. Couplers to hold this big beam, and this is going to be quite long. It's about 6 to 8 feet long. And then this will have a chain on it and a hook. Something like that. Now this clamp is going to be adjustable. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make several different holes along here. And in those holes, I'm going to have a bolt. And there's going to be a nut here. Okay, that's going to prevent this clamp right here from going up and down. And then there will be several holes in here. Also, I thought about different designs that I wanted. One is to have this square tube encased in wood, and then down here will be a foot, and then there will be different holes. This is going to be actually like a tube, only made of wood. And then there's going to be different holes in here so that I can adjust this foot to go up and down, and then it will go clear to the ground. And that will allow this whole thing to be used for just about anything. It's going to be a crane. C-R-A-N-E. And also there's going to be a joint in here. So I'm going to joint in here, and that's going to allow the whole thing to turn to wherever I want it. And there's going to be sort of a bearing that I make out of a piece of pipe. It's going to go in here. And the details on it, I haven't really made it very clear, but basically this is not going to hold much. It's welded, it's very solid, very thick steel, but I don't trust it. Also, I thought about, this is the receiver I have at the back of my truck, and it's a very good receiver because it's hooked to the frame. But I thought about, now this is the back of the truck. I thought about having 2, maybe 3 receivers, because the hitch at the back of my truck is really a good one, and that'll hold this whole thing. But I'm only going to use one for now because I don't need anything to be really heavy right now. But I hope to use this whole thing to lift up logs if I need to and load them into my truck. I thought also about this represents the bed of the truck, and having it, the whole thing, be able to load things into the truck. So basically this whole thing, this especially this square tube and this hydraulic jack in here, that's basically from my engine hoist. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, here is the corner of the bed, and approximately here is the wheel well, the tire, and then on my particular truck, it's a 2003 or 2007 Dodge Ram 1500. So this is the inside of the bed, and there's an area 12 inches here. This is from the back of the bed, right where the bumper goes. I don't have a step bumper. Well, I sort of have a step bumper on that particular year, 07. I don't know what I said before, but it's an 07. And then this area here, is 9.5. There's also a seam where 2 pieces of metal, sheet metal, are welded together, and this seam runs right here, 9.5 inches from the inside of the bed. And so right here where these 2 places meet, that's over the spring hanger. The spring hanger is about maybe 2 inches from the sheet metal of the bed. I thought about cutting a hole to expose the sheet metal, to expose the spring hanger, But I basically want to put something there, and this is what I want to put there. Okay, here is the tube, square tube that I have been talking about. And this is my Bluebird engine hoist. So basically, it would be really nice if I could come down here to the bottom and make something that would swivel so that I could load things into the back of my bed. All right, now I've got this tap here, and it's 3/8. That's the size of the threads, all right? And the way you want to measure what kind of drill bit you're going to use is, I'll show you up here, and this will be a lot easier on the board. All right. So your tap is going to be 3/8, and it's going to look like this. All right, now the beginning of it's going to be much more gently tapered than what I have up here. But you do not want to measure this area. Because that's 3/8. What you want to measure is right here. And according to how I measured it, the closest I could come up with was 5/16. Now that might be a little bit too small, but maybe we can make it work. This is a Milwaukee whole hog, very old. It's from the 90s, I would say. All right, now I want to make sure that these flats on this drill bit, make sure that they match up with the jaws on the bit, or on the chuck. And this is just probably your standard chuck. Doesn't appear to be too hard of a steel.